Well, good day everyone. My name is Frank Sib. I am from the beautiful village of Oshmulka, place of the Three Hills, which is now known as San Antonio in the Cayo district. First of all, I want to start by saying a big thank you to Heritage Education Network Belize for hosting this amazing conference where we can share about heritage. And when it comes to heritage, why not share one of the most important heritage, which is the hieroglyphic writing system? I want to talk about how this writing system is coming back to life and how we as a community in tz'ib masewal are helping to bring this back to life. So in my presentation, I will talk about how we share this knowledge and how our community is responding to this. So I want to start by explaining the name tz'ib masewal. So tz'ib means to write or to scribe. And when we add the prefix it makes it a person. So tz'ib is a scribe, and masewal is the word for the Yucatec Maya culture. So during colonialism, even before that, the Mayas would call themselves masewales, the masewal culture. And the word Maya came around the time of colonialism. There is a lot of theories, but the culture itself is called masewal. So masewal is the word for the Maya culture. So tz'ib masewal is Maya scribe. So in this little community of tz'ib, I say community because my whole family are a part of all the activities that we do. For example, if you see the picture here on my screen, this is a beautiful picture taken by my brother Abdon. And throughout my presentation, you will see a lot of pictures which was taken by him. Everything that we practice in our community, we rely on the knowledge which was passed on to us by our ancestors or knowledge that have been existing in our culture for a long time. Our slogan has it, crafting with ancient knowledge. Maya writing was in use in the Maya era from about 300 BC to around the 16th century during the Spanish conquest. And we can see a lot of evidence on the Maya writing nowadays on stelas, monuments as ball court markers, paper books, pottery, cave art, wood carving, and I can go on with a list of evidence about these inscriptions. And as I mentioned, this is something that was erased from our culture. Our people were forced to leave these practices and learn the European letters. So I can say that by the 16th century, there was no Maya who could write in Maya glyphs. But attempts at decipherment started in the 18th and 19th century by some amazing people who I applaud for all their hard work. Because it was until the 1950s, that this system was understood well enough to start decipherment with more certainty. So thanks to all of that hard work of those people, for example, like Tatiana Proskoryakov, Yuri Konoresov, Eric Thompson, Linda Shealy, and I can go on with a list. Thanks to all of their hard work, we can now say that the system is logosyllabic, where we have logograms and syllables. Logograms are signs representing meanings and sounds of complete words. A good example would be this ka here. If we take a look at the ka, we can see that it is ka as a syllabogram, but it can also be seen as a logogram. This is representing a fish, which is the word for kai. It has a little eye, it has its little nose, its little mouth. So by looking at it, we can know that it is a fish. So that is a logogram representing picture words. If we take a look on the side, on the left, we have ka and we have wa at the bottom. These are representation of sounds. So we have logograms and syllabograms. Let's take a look at the catalog. We have the whole consonant and vowels in the Maya system. So we have consonants and vowels. Vowels can stand on their own, so they can be written as one. So we have A, E, I, O, U, which are pronounced as the Spanish vowels A, E, O, U. Consonants, they cannot stand on their own, so they need to have a vowel on their side. So consonant plus vowel, consonant plus vowel. So we have ba, be, bi, bo, bu. So we have to know as well, it's good to note that Mayas used to write from left to right, top to bottom, right? This is a good example here. Left to right, top to bottom. And there is a lot more we can explain, a lot more that we can learn about the writing system. So as I mentioned, thanks to all of that hard work, we can now say that we can decipher most of the glyphs, but there is more to learn. So thank you for all those hard work to those people. So after acquiring some knowledge in Maya epigraphy, we decided let's not keep this to ourselves. So we tried to get involved in community outreach, in crash courses, chat with friends, school interviews, and we decided to open up a social media platform where we can share about this information. As part of the community work, I have had interviews with TV channels, schools, whereby students would get very excited and ask a lot of questions about the culture, the writing system, how it works, and how to write their names. And I will take the chance to share to them the importance of heritage and how we have to be proud and embrace the culture that we are in, and how this helps us identify ourselves as a group of people, and how the writing helps us to understand the life of our ancestors. On the PBS special, I painted a replica of the Comcom vase, which was found in 2015 at Baking Pod. And by simply doing that, I am sharing to the world. The Mayas are still painting, the Mayas are still writing in hieroglyphs, are still practicing a lot of the traditions, are still speaking the language, and that we are still very willing to share this information to other people, pass it on to our new generation as our ancestors would do. A simple conversation with friends would many times end up in us introducing them to epigraphy, teaching them how to write their names in hieroglyphs, and as a sense of motivation for them, would sometimes carve out little slates with their names, with phrases, or paint them and give it to them as gifts, so that they would have a personal connection to that gift and they can share it to other people and say, I can read this, these are the details in my carvings, and in my drawing. So in this way we can share the knowledge to other people, by friends learning how to write, learning how to read, and have a personal connection to that meaning of the glyph. It is very engaging to other people. We decided to open up our social media platforms so that we can reach out to a larger audience. So you can check us out on our website at tz'ib.com, on our Facebook page at tz'ib masewal, where we share a glyph of the day. We share a lot of the work that we do, share personalized phrases in hieroglyphs, and also share posts on daily Maya life. Here's a few of the work that we have created. If you take a look at the right bottom corner, you will see a replica of a vase found at Baking Pond. You can even see the Maya blue here on the rim, very intricate. So right on top of that, we have a vase commissioned by Olivia Ellis. Here's her name, Olivia Ellis. Ahpan Tutuwitsna. Olivia Ellis, an excavator at Tutuwitsna. So in the center, we have a vase, and the person buying this said, hey, can we have maybe wisdom incorporated in the vase? So I decided to add this guy, which is Itzat. It's a howler monkey, and Itzat means wise. So he represents wisdom on this face, and all the glyphs around are related to wisdom. At the bottom, we have a whole story of a person saying, this is my vase, here is raised my vase, and this is my drinking cup, here is the drinking cup. So it's a whole story that we have here on this vase. And on the left, we have a Maya scribe, an tz'ib. And here's the glyph for tz'ib. We have on the left, tz'iba. So here we have tz'ib, Frank Sib. So scribe Frank Sib as my name here. So these are just some of the work that we do. So what we tell people, give me your phrase in English or in Maya if you can speak Maya. So they give us the phrase and we translate it to Yucatec Maya, and then from there transcribe it to Maya hieroglyphs. And in that way, as I mentioned, they have a personal connection to the phrase, and they know what it means, and they know how to read it. So this is some of the work that we have. One day I got a call from Mr. Lorenzo, and he said, Frank, can I have a vase that commemorates the date where Caracol defeated Tikal? And I said, yes, it will be a challenge, but I like it. So I decided to do it, but thinking on that, I said, people are now aware that we can read and write in Maya hieroglyphs. Especially the older people, they're like, we only saw that, on stelas. We didn't know we could read it. And that gives them a very strong cultural identity. And they say we have a direct connection or relation to the ancient Mayas that lived on those sites. This is our people. Those were our ancestors. Our ancestors wrote these hieroglyphs, which we can now read and understand. And they're willing now to help in revitalizing this writing system, especially the older people and the younger generation that comes up, learning all of this. So here's the story. If you take a look here, we have Iut, and then it happened. We have the introductory glyph, which introduces the date, which is 562 AD. Kuhul Kantumak, Holy Lord of Karakol. Chak, which is defeated. Yash Ebshok, which is the Holy Lord of Tikal. Kuhul Mutul Hao, Holy Lord of Tikal. Tz'ib, the writing of, here's my name, Frank Sip, T. Lorenzo Aldana, for Lorenzo Aldana. So this whole story, and we could see like the relation. People are starting to ask for phrases, which were ancient phrases. They would ask for it, but they would feel just that strong cultural identity, and appreciate and embrace and be proud of what we have when it comes to the writing system. And I am seeing that in people, that they are starting to have that very interest in learning and sharing and applying this, to their knowledge. I want to give a shout out to all of those people who are advocates of heritage, who are teaching our young people to be proud of who they are, to be proud of their culture, to be proud of their language, proud of their people, and proud of their land. Tulakalong, Yannick Antal, we all play a part in this. Thank you.